Alright folks, the snarl continues now. More singles competition as we see the rockin' Rick Boogs set to lock it up against the Birdman Koko Beware, accompanied by the Junkyard Dog.
This next contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Columbus, Ohio, weighing 228 pounds, here is Rick Boogs.
It's been about a month since we last saw Rick Boogs when he dropped his last match to Rhonda Bodwick, but Boogs has remained a solid fan favorite. He wrestles cleanly, and he's definitely a throwback to classic wrestlers of the 1980s. Even reminds me a little of ravishing Rick Rude, only with a rock and roll sort of flair to him. I even like his odds against Koko Beware, especially if it turns into a long matchup. Boogs has quite a bit of endurance.
He does kind of remind me of Rick Rude, boy. Got that classic porn stash, and well, he's definitely an 80s style throwback. And he's definitely got that rock and roll. Yeah, he is just rocking to the music. Having himself a grand. That's another thing about Rick Boogs the fans seem to like. He always seems to have a good time no matter what he's doing.
I'm kind of partial to Rick Boogs myself. He really does have an infectious personality. I don't think I've ever seen him not smile.
Yep, that is exactly the thing about Rick Boogs. Always seems to be happy, always seems to be in a good mood, and always ready to compete.
His opponent, accompanied by the Junkyard Dog from Union City, Tennessee, weighing 230 pounds, he's the Birdman, Koko Beware. Looks like Koko has opted to keep Frankie in the back tonight as he ventures forth with JYD, ready to go in this single clash against Rick Boogs. On paper, it's a great matchup, but as everyone knows, you can toss the paper in the wastebasket once that bell rings, because so much can change in just a few short minutes. I'm leaning towards Rick Boogs in this one. It's just a feeling I've got.
Man, both these guys are so athletic, so talented. For me, it's a toss-up, since either of these guys could win.
Totally agree, Wally. Let's see which one does. As Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, Koko charges, gets slammed by Rick Boogs right out of the gate. Rolling elbow across the chest to Koko Beware from Rick Boogs, who misses with the stomp. Koko with a nice reverse Hurricane Rana on Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs counters with a right. Nails Koko with another one. Has him up. Whoa, just tossed him over his back. Koko Beware moves in on Boogs. Nice suplex from Koko. The Junkyard Dog cheering on his tag team partner. Here's a nice vertical suplex from Koko Beware. The Birdman rounds up Rick Boogs. Has him locked up. Has a hold of the trunks. Has him up again. This time for the long suplex. But no, Rick Boogs counters it and has a chop block right behind the knee of Koko Beware. Misses with the basement dropkick. Koko moves in. Catches a right from Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs has him up in the front cradle and scoop slams him. Okay. Rick Boogs takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Koko laid out center ring. Boom! Elbow drop right across the chest. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Well, now damn near a near fall, but Koko getting up that right shoulder just in time. Rick Boogs gathers him up. Look at this. All this fancy. He is juggling Koko Beware into a suplex behind his back. Wow. That was impressive. Rick Boogs rounds up Koko. Koko with a little do the hustle and a kick to the leg and a hard right. Koko Beware whips Rick Boogs to the corner. He rebounds out, catches a leg drop to the back of the neck. Wow. Rick Boogs hopping mad. Koko Beware steps out, catches an elbow, catches a right, and catches a shoulder. That takes him down to the floor. Rick Boogs twisting the head and neck of Koko Beware. Koko up on one knee, back to a standing position, drives a shot into the midsection of Rick Boogs. Koko's got him up. Michinoku driver to Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs rounded up again by Koko. A chop. Puts the brakes on the kick and delivers an elbow to the leg. Koko Beware just missing the barricade and finding himself on the rampway, and that's cold hard steel out there. Rick Boogs, rushing leg sweep to Koko, slamming the back of his head against that steel. Boogs follows it up with a stomp to the shoulder. Rick Boogs, an elbow to the chest of Koko Beware. Obviously, the referee has already initiated the count. And Rick Boogs, with a stomp to the lower abdomen, looks like he's trying to run out the clock here on Koko. Here's a kick to the chest. Koko counters, gets back up on his feet. Let's see if anybody can get back to the ring. It's a power slam straight out of no place. How did Koko do that? There's a kick to the head from Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs turns him over. Koko, another inverted Hurricane Rana out of no place. Koko Beware with a spinning neckbreaker on Rick Boogs. And that referee is still counting. That time is starting to run low, man. Koko Beware rounds up Rick Boogs. And oh man, a facebuster right into the steel as Koko makes his way back into the ring. Referee's counted at about 17. 18 now. And Rick Boogs is on Dream Street, La La Land. Count at 19. Koko Beware showing off for the fans. I think he's got this one. There it is. The referee's call for the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 3 minutes and 35 seconds, the referee has counted Rick Boogs out of the ring. Your winner by way of a countout, Koko Beware.
Ladies and gentlemen, that match, as far as Rick Boogs is concerned, definitely taught him the FAFO lesson. As Rick Boogs effed around on the outside a little too long with Koko Beware, and he damn sure found out a facebuster to the steel ramp. Put Rick Boogs out, and he got himself a count out. Koko Beware picking up the win, and we'll be right back with more RWL Snarl right after this.